You know, as normal human beings, when we hear of influence, what we think of is fame, popularity, status, money, just the standing in society, and the ability to be able to like get people to do things because of who we are and how we are perceived. But kingdom influence is quite different, because the thing that qualifies agents of influence according to the Bible is different from what qualifies agents of influence according to the world. Now let me explain. Matthew chapter 5 gives us two agents of influence. That's salt and light. That's how Jesus describes believers in the world. We're meant to be like salt and we're meant to be like light. And this made me to understand that the thing that qualifies us as agents of influence for God is our integrity, not our popularity. You see, in Matthew chapter 5, it says we are meant to be salt of the earth, but the salt should not lose its taste. That means this salt should remain in its pure whole state for it to be able to have the ripple effects it's meant to have. You don't need a mudu of salt or a congo of salt to cook a congo of rice. Pastor Philip always says this all the time. You just need a little. Now you see, we don't need number for kingdom influence. You just need the one that we have, the little that we have, to maintain its integrity, its purity. And the Bible says, if salt now loses its taste, it doesn't have any use anymore but to be thrown out to the road for trample on it. The same thing with light. One candle can light up a whole place. But the problem is, does it have its bushel? Does it have personal weaknesses, or does it have its own darkness that tries to cover it? The integrity of light. You don't need too many bulbs to light up a place. You just need one. But that one, does it have a bushel that compromises its integrity and its purity? Now let's go to yeast. Matthew chapter 13. Jesus talks about how the believer is like yeast, and she just needs a few measure of the yeast to put into the whole dough, and it leaveneth everything. That's how the believer is meant to be. But the thing with yeast as well is that it has to be active. Otherwise, it's nothing. It's not going to have the effect that it's supposed to have. What qualifies us as agents of influence, the first step, the first hurdle to cross, is the hurdle of integrity, the hurdle of purity. Because God understands that if I pick this person and keep them as an agent of influence, they multiply themselves. You get? Let's go to the Old Testament, Genesis chapter 18. This is where Abraham is pricing the number of people that God will have so that he can spare Sodom. And Abraham prices so low that he gets to 10. Do you understand that God would have spared the whole of Sodom if he had just found 10 righteous people? The basis of influence to God is integrity, not your popularity. You see, there were so many other people. Let's just say there were maybe 500,000 other people, but they meant nothing to God in this period. It was 10 righteous people that he needed. He needed just 12 disciples to change the whole world. He needed just one Jesus to get the whole world. Now, stop being afraid of your number, okay? What you should care about is to work on your heart, work on your integrity, work on your purity, bring all your parts before the Lord. Let God examine you, cleanse what he needs to cleanse, and you will see that you would qualify much faster than the person who is putting his trust in his wealth, in his status for kingdom influence.